Good day and welcome back. In this video I'm going to talk about the Morden Early cucumber. I did my research last winter, as you know, and I selected several short season cucumber varieties. And this year I grew the Morden Early's bush crop, and I already had seed for national pickling. Morden Early, it was introduced by the Morden Research Centre in Morden, Manitoba, Canada in 1956. They're in its own 4A. They have a 130-day frost-free period. At that time they were running just over 1,000 GDUs at a base 10. That's in Celsius. My area is currently running on average about a 660 GDUs, but that can be greatly increased if it's on a south-facing slope, or better yet up against a south-facing wall. With 45 days to maturity, and I would assume that was from transplant, they need a minimum of 562 GDUs at base 10. This year I have recorded a little over 900, but in the growing season from the last frost till the first frost it was somewhere around 750 or something like that, and I think it was 133 days. The cucumbers I have found, and I think I mentioned it in previous videos, eating fresh, they have a slight bitter taste to them. And that's the reason why I'm hanging on to national pickling, is because they're really sweet. I love them fresh. This is pickles I made from the Morden Earlys. And here's pickles I made from national pickling. Now, as you can see, the national pickling cucumbers, both of the pickles are about the same thickness, and it went quite flimsy. I don't like national pickling as pickles. When you pickle the Morden Earlys, that takes away that slight bitter taste, and then of course whatever kind of pickles you want after that. What I've done here is apple cider vinegar and curry powder. I really like these. These are a sweet pickle. I don't like the texture and I don't like the taste, but they're edible. I will use them all. So I recommend Morden Early above national pickling for pickles, and national pickling for fresh eating. Morden Early, they're firmer to start with, which was a benefit when I was making relish out of them. And you can grate them almost as well as you can grate zucchini for relish. I picked a recipe off of allrecipes.com and made some relish out of this a couple of days ago. It's fairly good, a strong relish, but as I'm saying, they make very good a firm texture for making relish out of cucumbers as well. It's September the 22nd, 2020, and we had our first frost 2 nights ago. So it done in these cucumber plants here. As you can see, all the leaves are gone. So now I can do the final report on the Morden Early cucumbers. Here is the white scallop squash, and it protected the cucumbers that was here. So these plants aren't dead yet. I have some cucumbers still growing. There's 4 or 5 cucumbers in among these other plants here. I had some plants here. They didn't grow that well, and I wanted to move the asparagus up, so I removed the plants and put the asparagus along here. In here, if you remember, this is where I picked the first ripe cucumber to see if I could collect seeds from it. The most interesting part was here, because when I did the bed for the beginner gardener series, the bush crop cucumbers that I put there, you might remember, they germinated and were growing. I then set some seeds here. So it was in late June I set seeds here. And you could tell by the amount of vines, they grew very well, and they're just completely covered this whole area. And I got cucumbers very early in, the first cucumber was set very early in July. This is one of the cucumbers in the condition that you would normally pick them to eat. As you can see, let me get in real close, I could dig my thumbnail right into that skin on that cucumber. Here is the one that germinated early July. I left it there. I said when I picked the other one and the seeds weren't fully ripe, I said the next one I'll leave until the vines are dead. And it's turned more brown than what the other one was. If I go in close, I can't leave a mark on that, somewhat of a little mark, but barely leave a mark on that skin. Over here is where I tried earlier, and I can't leave a mark at all back here. So the skin is really hardened up on this one. I need to pick every cucumber that's there now, no matter what the size, because the vines are dead and I'm not going to get any more growth off those. Hopefully they'll fit in this container. There's 6 vines in total here. I have 17 cucumbers in here, but like I said, I picked all sizes, so even the little tiny ones. And then there was this one that must have gotten hit by frost. Oh, and here's another one I missed. So that makes 18. And the ripe one. From what I picked before, I made 18 bottles. That's 500 milliliter bottles of pickles. And I ate about 4 cucumbers and the one ripe one. So Morden Early has done exceptionally well for me this summer. Total weight of this harvest, 2,577 grams, or 5 pounds 10.9 ounces, so 5 pounds 11 ounces. Now this is the second ripe one that I just showed you earlier in the video. I let the plant die. It seemed to be going soft inside because I did the video about the harvesting them a little while back, and I've had this sitting on the table ever since. Yeah, when I cut into the other one that I did a video of previous, as soon as I cut into it, I'm like, that doesn't feel right. It was easy to cut into the peel. This one, it's quite a bit harder. Now, when you're harvesting for seed, as I said, the vine had died, so it was pointless to actually leave it there in the field anyway. But the seeds can mature in the cucumber after you've got it picked. So leaving it there for 2 weeks or whatever it was might have let the seeds mature more than what they were when I actually picked the cucumber. As I found out when I done the other one, it's better to quarter these. Put that to the side, and we'll just go through this one. As I said, you just squeeze it, see, and all the seeds, they pop right out. Okay, got this dishcloth. It's going to serve two purposes. It's going to soak up that water that flowed out there. Tweezers. He's more plump than what you've seen from the other ones. And what I just found out was that putting it in the cloth like that, the gel that was around it slipped right off. So let's experiment. Gardening is always an experiment, as I say many times. Scrape those over, the entire amount of them, over onto the cloth. Let's see what happens. For the most part, you can see all the little gel pieces have slipped off of the seeds. I think when I do the rest of them, I'll get a tea towel, and it'll be bigger and better than using this small old dish towel that I have. So now that we've let them go further, right now it seemed like a greater percentage of them actually are plump. I still have, of course, the occasional flat one, and that would be expected. You're not going to get them all mature, but the greater percentage of them now looks mature, that I've left it there long enough. So as I said, you wait until this skin gets hard, and that's what I didn't do with the previous one. I didn't wait long enough. I didn't check for the skin to be hard. I was just going by color, and that was a failure on my part. I was asked by a viewer if I ate this part afterwards, which when I got seed from National Pickling, I tried it and it was bitter. Now let's try this one. I'll take a paring knife to cut some of it out and see what it tastes like raw. The texture of it, it's still quite firm. The taste hasn't changed much. If I were making pickles or relish, I would use that. And it's a little less bitter than what it was back when it was green. That's from the hen. I said it felt like it was going soft inside. This portion does have a kind of off taste to it. The stuff that was immediately surrounding the seeds. And this one, immediately I can feel that the flesh is harder than on the other end. You know, I think most of the bitterness is actually in the gel that surrounds the seeds. This is perfect to use for making relish or pickles. I put them out in groups of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And there's 5. So that's 225 seeds. And every one of them right now looks plump. I have to let them dry. I have the gel off of most of them. That is Morden Early cucumber. It is really the only cucumber I went full the whole way through. This is a warmer year. I've recorded 900 and something base 10 GDUs for the sunny plot. Next year we'll see. I will grow these again. I do have some more cucumber varieties that I'm going to try. But I hope you enjoyed this one, and hit the like button, leave me a comment. I'll see you in the next one.